Hey friends, it's Sharika and I'm back to continue sharing my financial journey with you. So today we're going to talk a little bit about my 2024 sinking funds. But before I get into that, I really wanted to explain and break down the difference between a sinking fund and an emergency fund. In the past, I used to just have one savings account that I used for everything, and I would pull money out if I needed it, if I didn't need it, and then sometimes when I did that, then I wouldn't have money in there when I actually needed it. So when I learned the difference between sinking funds and an emergency fund, that has been a significant game changer in just how I've managed my finances and has allowed me to continue to stay out of debt. So first, what is a sinking fund? A sinking fund is a fund formed by periodically setting aside money for the gradual repayment of a debt or replacement of a wasting asset. So, sinking funds can be used for things like Christmas or vacation, saving up for a new car, some annual bills, back to school, things that you know that are going to happen that are not a very large amount, but that you can plan for and save for over time up until that event happens. So that's what a sinking fund is. So then what is an emergency fund? An emergency fund is savings for unplanned expenses like a job loss or unforeseen medical expenses. So things that you would have use your emergency fund for unexpected expenses like a loss of a job. You lost your job and you don't have any income, so you need to pay your bills, you need to pay your mortgage, your lights, your main four walls. So your food, clothing, shelter, care, things that you actually need. Emergency home repair, for example, the bay window that I'm going to have to replace because when it rains, water leaks into my house. So I am probably going to have to use my emergency fund for that so that water doesn't leak into my house next time that it rains. Traveling for a family crisis. Those are things that are unexpected that you can't plan for, and that's what you use your emergency fund for. So, going into that, like I said, I use both funds. I have an emergency fund set aside for unplanned expenses like the bay window, and then I have a bunch of sinking funds that I've created over time that have I felt like have best met my needs and helped keep me out of debt. Today I'm going to show you those sinking funds that I have set up for this year that I plan to use. All right, so let's get started. If you've seen any of my videos before, I've already explained I use YNAB. YNAB stands for You Need a Budget. It is one of, I feel like, the greatest softwares. There's tons of financial softwares out there. This one has helped me maintain my financial life over the past few years, and I absolutely love it. In YNAB, I have two separate accounts. One for my primary checking where I do all of my moving and shaking, or my primary budgeting. I do all the moving and shaking that has my primary account on there, the credit card that I mainly use for all of my expenses, and that's where all my money flows in and out. Then I also have a second tracking for my sinking funds, and this is my sinking funds tracking. This is a completely separate bank account where I have $400 per paycheck going into this account. Sometimes I will transfer money in from maybe my side hustles or something in here to cover some of these extra expenses. But for my paycheck, $400 per check goes into this account to help cover my sinking funds. So let's go through what my sinking funds are this year. And also, I'm probably going to have to add an additional one or two in this account as well. So let's just start from the top. Travel. If you saw my budget, I just came back from vacation, so I had a January trip in here that I was saving for last year. That was part of last year's sinking fund so that I can have the money ready for this year. That money has been used, and I've already hit that category. My next trip is my family reunion, and the goal for that is $3,000. Right now, I am on track for that goal. I've got about 15, 40, 20 left or saved for that as well. My trip after that is going to be in August. I will be going to Panama. I need $2,000 in spending money because that trip is paid for. I just need to provide spending money. My next travel will be to Women Evolve in September. I have not started saving for this, but in order to save for this, I need to be putting away about $166 a month. I just haven't gotten there yet. But with YNAB, I love the fact that I can set these goals and milestones in order to have $1,500 by September 1st. This is what I need to do. So I definitely will catch up. Then the big 45. I turned 45 in 2025, and let's actually set this goal because I'm going to need $5,000 at least by December 1st to make sure this happens. I have not booked this trip yet. I plan to book it in February, but once I actually book it, I will know the final numbers. But I think $5,000 for the trip and spending money is going to be good. So, in order to do that, I'm going to need an additional $416.67 a month in order to pay for this trip and to have that. So, having these sinking funds, setting these goals in YNAB is such a great thing because at least you know what you're working with and what you're not working with. So, then I have my annual expenses. My annual expenses are my Costco membership. I pay for the executive membership. I always get my money back between me and my sister who use my Costco card. And so I've already funded that. That's ready to go when they're ready to take that money out. Then I also save up for tax prep. I have my personal taxes and two businesses. And so paying for those taxes, I can't pull that out of just one paycheck. So I save every month so that I can have that money ready for tax season and ready to pay off the tax preparer. Then I have the Microsoft renewal, which is $75, and I'm on track for that. Chase credit card, I use the Chase Sapphire or Chase Preferred. I can't even remember what card it is, but it's a $95 an annual fee, and then I also save for that. YNAB, this software, I do pay the annual fee for this. It is worth every penny over and over again because ultimately, if I did not have this, I wouldn't save money. Then Amazon Prime for $148. I pay the annual fee for Canva. Then I also have an annual fee for Planet Fitness. Always remember, check your gym's annual fees. That can be a sinking fund. You can pay, your monthly fee will be in your bills. The annual fee, make that a sinking fund. Geek Squad, I pay the annual membership for Geek Squad. Holiday activities, this is pretty much Christmas gifts, Christmas parties, Christmas events. So the goal for this is $1,500. The only thing it looks like I'm not on track on right now is Geek Squad. And then my photo book, my yearbook that I create at the end of every year, the goal for that is 250. And I need to reset that goal next month because I just bought my yearbook. Okay, so next is right now I don't have anything on the wish list. Last year I went through a spending spree and I bought anything I wanted. So, which I won't be doing that this year. So if there's anything I really want, I really have everything that I need. But if there's anything I want, I will add it to here. Next up is quarterly. So Elite Technique is my personal trainer. This is something that I definitely want. And obviously I'm behind on this goal, but at least I know what the goal is. I need an additional $400 this month so that I can pay this once March hits. And I can pay up for another 3 months. Then Home Paramount Pest Control, just paid them, but the goal is $102 every 3 months. Then my others are car registration. I have car registration for my daughter, which is every 2 years, and then car registration for myself, again, every 2 years. I haven't started saving for my daughters because on average, she's been paying for hers. So that's going to be a last priority. I'm going to do mine first. And then if I have extra money, I'll fund hers just in case she doesn't have it. But usually she has it. Like last year, she did her own. So then I just took that 135 and I moved it to one of my other funds. but I have it there just in case. Then lastly, maintenance. I have a fund for auto in home. I honestly don't fund it. I'm just not there yet. And if anything, an emergency happens, I will just take it out of an emergency fund. Usually maintenance, car, what's it called? What are they called? Oil changes and stuff. I will just budget for, or just take it out of my gasoline fund, since that's the oil changes really haven't been a lot of money. And I'll just budget for it in my quarterly check, or my paycheck, or I'll just take it from um, my sister lock income. But the one thing on here is home maintenance. I don't really do much home regular maintenance. I don't need any more home decor right now, but I do need a bay window. And the goal is to get that out of my emergency fund. But I know a bay window is not going to be cheap. So I'm just going to replace this for right now. Let's just put bay window. I think I'm going to need around $5,000 because my bay window is large, and I have gotten quotes on this before. This needs to be done sooner than later, not immediately. The water only comes into my home when it rains a lot, so which has not been happening, but I do want to plan for this. So if I, let's say, need this by March 1st, yeah, I'm just going to need all of this. So, if I win the lottery, I'll be able to fund this sinking fund. But I just like to sit this here because I know this is something that I need to pay for. How I'm going to pay for it, I have no idea right now. I still need to get quotes for this bay window, but it's good to just have a plan. So these are my 2024 sinking funds. These are the things that I plan to pay for, that I'm planning for throughout 2024, that I'm continuously saving for by automatic transfers directly from my paycheck, that go into this account, so that I can have this money ready for these expenses, prevent me from getting out of debt. I won't need to use my paycheck. I can budget for all my other things, my regular bills and regular variable expenses, without worrying about these and knowing that I'll have money for these when these events come up. So, how many sinking funds do you guys have? Did you know the difference between a sinking fund and an emergency fund? So share with me. Share with me down in the comments below. Are there any sinking funds that you think I need to add? I'm pretty sure there are some, but because of the way my budget is working right now and all of the things that I want to do, and the little bit of money that I have to allocate money places, this is what I'm working with right now. So thank you guys for joining me. I hope you continue to join me on this journey. Don't forget to like and subscribe.